Well, good evening and welcome to the Gold Goats and Guns Hour here on YouTube. And for about 15 minutes or so, we're going to do this. It's Tuesday. It's April 26, 2022. My name is Tom Luongo, and you're not. That's simple. All right. And just to make the Chevy Chase thing complete, and General Alissimo Francisco Franco is still dead. All right. Let's those of you who grew up in the 70s, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. Well, that happened. Elon Musk now owns Twitter. That's hilarious. It's not just hilarious. It's actually one of the coolest things I've heard of in quite a long time. And it almost feels like all of a sudden there's this kind of inflection point that's happening. And we're going to discuss this for about 10 minutes here and 15 minutes here on YouTube, and then we're going to move over to Odyssey. The stream is in the process over there of confirming. I'll get it all set up, and once done, I will put the link to the stream for tonight over in the chat. For those of you who are watching the replay, it'll be in the chat on the right side of your screen. And if you over there and there, whatever, it'll be there. You guys figure it out. I'm just not gonna worry about it. If you can't find me on Odyssey, then wow. Okay, Odyssey, ODYSEE.com. All right, let's do this. So Musk is now in charge of Twitter, and Davos is losing their minds. It's really hilarious, actually. The EU has come out and threatened him with all sorts of sanctions and fines, and blue checks are losing their shit and lighting their hair on fire. Sean King deleted his account and then brought it back so he could virtue signal some more, and it's all good. It's everything you wanted in something like this. Look, I don't trust Elon Musk as far as I can personally throw him, and since I'm no longer working out on a regular basis, I couldn't throw him very far, if at all. But it doesn't mean that we should distrust what this actually means. If Musk does nothing more than restore Twitter to the state it was in 2017 and sets up extra filters for the EU to sink into their own, hate speech depravity, dude, that's a win. Take whatever win you can and go for it. I don't give a shit if he's using it as just yet another grift in order to try and get himself out of hot water with Tesla or whatever it is. I don't care. What I think is important here is that the process has started. That it's like so many things about what's beginning to happen here. It's what I've been trying to convey to everybody for the last 8 or 9 months now. Certainly since the 6 months, since June, when I thought the Federal Reserve started going off the reservation, which is that it may be all one big club and we're not in it, but that was then. When the sharks all run out of people to feed on, they turn on each other. And it's always been that way. And you have to realize that at a certain point, every cartel breaks down because humanity runs on this weird admixture of, or the universe does, of matter, energy, and enlightened self-interest. Okay? And those things matter. And those incentives matter. Incentives always matter. And anybody sitting here today just doing the typical thing, oh, well, it's just another billionaire buying a media company. I'm going to give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about here. I think all of those are very low resolution takes. And they're coming from people who I have a lot of respect for. But I just think that that's the low resolution, unnuanced take here, because you're not taking all of this in. Is Musk possibly running another grift on us? Sure. You can always find ways to find the negative in things. It's easy. It's actually much harder to find the positive in things. It's actually harder to, get out of your typical mode of thinking and get into a different mode of thinking. I had Peter Bookvar on my podcast a couple of months ago, and I brought up the idea that the Fed was, going to war with the ECB, and he just kind of laughed at me. He was politely, and I kind of laughed back at him politely, and gently tried to say, well, look, this is the way I'm seeing it. What do you think? And he just kind of looked at me like, that's nonsense. And here we are today, when he was telling me that, well, the euro's been trading in a broad range between $1.25 and $1.08 for a few years now, and who cares? And here we are today, and the euro's at $1.65 and falling rapidly, having violated the 2020 low this morning. Yeah, it was by 2 pips, but it doesn't matter. It violated the low. Any good technical analyst or any good money manager will tell you violate that. You make that kind of violation, you have to respect it. Yeah, the close is going to matter, sure, whatever. You should respect it. And if you get data that's discontinuous to your mindset, to your perspective, you need to alter your perspective. You need to alter your conclusions. And yet, here we are, 3 months later, and I'm turning out to be right, and he's turning out to be wrong. And, we're on the verge of World War III. And 6 weeks ago, I had to sit there and listen to a whole bunch of people tell me that Vladimir Putin was a member of the World Economic Forum. And yet, the West is literally trying to start World War fucking III, and you think that Putin has set the Russian people up to be nuked by Washington? Is that what you're going to believe? Because you just can't handle the concept that maybe you're the one who's wrong? I mean, there's a certain level of arrogance or lack of humility or whatever you want to call it that goes along with something along those lines. And sorry, but our brains are difference engines and pattern recognition and pattern recognition engines. It's what we do. And it's very easy to get lost in pattern recognition. It just is. It's easy to get lost in that. It's easy to see this connection equals that connection, and then all connections like that are the same. It's nonsense. At some point, everybody gets a look behind the fucking curtain and has to make a freaking choice. Is this the world I want to live in? Am I a true believer in that? No. Am I a believer in these other things? Some of their ideas, sure. You get me to go to the fucking meetings. You get me to get them to. I give you the reason to put my name on the website. Like if the WEF takes Elon Musk's name off the website in the next 24 hours, is anybody gonna is anybody gonna change their perspective? Oh no, they're just covering for it now. It's like at a certain point when you've missed the boat, you have to change your perspective. Now, I'm not saying that that's the case about Elon Musk. I don't trust Musk, like I said, as far as I can throw him. That's not the point. The point is that even bad people can do good things. Even bad people can do good things. Even previously bad people or made men. Hey, Musk is a made guy. He used billions in government money, stolen money, to build Tesla, to build SpaceX, to build Solar City, to build all this shit. Whatever. Doesn't make him some, libertarian icon or anything. It makes him who he is. And maybe he is a little horrified by the way things have gone. Maybe, since I just read that he's really going to move Twitter's HQ out of California and move it to fucking Miami, which is going to be the home of right-wing. Really, the new media is all going to be in frickin' Miami. Within 10 years, Miami is going to be the media hub of the United States. You do realize that, or at least of the rest of the Western world. You guys realize that, right? And Musk is moving private Twitter headquarters to Miami to be next to his friend Peter Thiel, to be down the road from Newsmax, to be down the road from Dave Rubin, to be down the road from all these fucking people. Do you realize how much fucking money, how much VC capital, how much fucking money is moving in to South Florida in this space? Do you have any idea? Like, if you can't process that because you just want to live in your little cynical, right-wing SJW solipsism, go right ahead. Like, dude, all Musk has to do is give us back Twitter from 2017. And I'd be as happy as a pig in shit. That would be a major win. Like, are you kidding? Let's fight out. Let's fight it out on an equal playing field. On the battlefield of ideas. Let them try and run their, anxiety pimp fucking agitprop control systems in an open platform. Let's see how well that works. You can see how well it hasn't really worked anyway. Twitter being a distraction, Herpicus McDurpington. Iodide tabs have spiked in price. Dude, the neocons are out there enforced projecting about how Putin is going to use tactical nuclear weapons because they want to use tactical nuclear weapons. So yeah, everybody's a little freaked out and they're buying friggin' iodine tablets. It's not a particularly good idea. Oh, by the way, because, well, for most of us, unless you have young children, what's the point? Because it doesn't really, iodine only protects you from one particular cancer, and that particular cancer you don't even get when you're our age. You just fucking die. So, Kevin Dorr, I work for Newsmax. Okay. Kevin Dorr saying Newsmax is controlled opposition. Chris Reddy will go blue in a minute. No. That I can tell you for real is not what's happening. I'll tell you that Ruddy will shift with the political winds a bit. But I know Chris Reddy personally. You're wrong. Let's just end that shit right here and there, right now. Oops. Wrong room to pull that shit in. Thank you. I've worked for Ruddy on and off for nearly a decade now. So, yeah. What are we at? 13 minutes. So just to remind everybody, here's the link to what we're going to talk about tonight over at Odyssey. Here we go. Look. Oh, Elon Musk, zero fucks given, because that's what we're really going to talk about. So, Herpicus, if you have so much to say about something, start a YouTube channel. I don't really care. All right. Yeah, I'm obviously now controlled opposition because, I work for Newsmax. Exactly. See, this is the kind of thing we're talking about. You have a relationship with Chris Ruddy. I think Chris Ruddy is controlled opposition. Therefore, you are controlled opposition. Like, that's the level of analysis people like Riley Wagaman engage in, and it's fucking horse shit, and it's dumb. And I'm glad most of you aren't. I'm glad his guys aren't here. So, The reality is that Musk might actually believe that's exactly what the controlled opposition would say. Exactly. It's just this kind of recursive, stupid shit. For those of you who are followers of my blog, you can rest easy. I blocked Ivor today. For those of you who don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, well, you'll know exactly. Don't worry about it. So, Alex Jones is saying Elon is a closet libertarian. Alex says a lot of things. Some of them happen to be true. I don't. It's just funny. I think. I just think Musk buying Twitter is the most hilarious thing I've seen in quite a while, and it's so interesting to see that happen with such a controversial platform that has been obviously co-opted. It's like the poster child for the takeover by foreign forces, or by, I don't know what you even call them, like globalist forces, with a board that has almost no skin in the game, running the company the way the shareholders don't want it run, right? And it's not acting in the company's fiduciary interest in any way, manner, shape, or form. It's a classic example. This Disney was another one. And Chapek had no fucking skin in the game. Neither did Iger. Like, none of these people have any skin in the fucking game for the companies they're running. And when you're in that situation, very clear that, you don't have any real duty to the company themselves. You will run the thing as a political platform. Like, so never forget that, like, Davos installs their people at the tops of governments. They install their people at the tops of companies. And so at some point, these shitbags all, sit up there and go, oh, well, this is the way we're going to run things. And, and then because no one ever challenges them and no one ever believes that they can be challenged, they can just do what they want. This is the same problem with the European Commission. These people don't stand for elections. They don't, nobody votes for these fucking people. And so they don't have any, they don't have any reason to be scared of the little people, revolting. Like, sire, you look like the piss boy, and you look like a bucket of shit. Like, like, it's that kind of thing. I mean, it's just, this is the world we live in. And Musk breaking down one major pillar of their control system, even if he's only going to partially liberalize it, still better than it was before. And it also opens up the entire discussion in a way that we haven't before. I mean, Twitter's been more fun in the last 24 hours with people just like screaming ivermectin, like, everywhere. It's fucking hilarious. This YouTube will probably ban this fucking stream because I just used the word I just said, ivermectin, like it's fucking Haster, for Christ's sake. Haster. Don't invoke his name. He'll show up and destroy the world. It's like, like, when the fuck did an over-the-counter drug become equivalent of an elder fucking god that wants to, like, consume the world? It's fucking retarded. But that's the world we live in. That's the world given to us by a bunch of what? Eurotrash commie shitbags. That's who. Okay. So with that in mind, enjoy Elon's last fuck. Because he just gave it. Well, he gave 44 billion of them, but that's fine. In order for us to have fun on Twitter again. It's hilarious. Fuck YouTube. All right, you guys, I'm going to be over on Odyssey and starting in a couple of minutes. I just have to pick out bump music and reset OBS, and we'll go from there. So, hey, it's a fun day. And the contrast now is, notice how Twitter's getting better and Disney's getting fucked. It's all good. You guys be well. You take care. We'll talk soon. Hey, we'll talk in about 5 minutes.